The history and tradition of the emperors and empresses of Ethiopia were a magical and glorious era. An indelible footprint in our culture. I was fortunate to live closely through those moments of splendor that left their mark on Ethiopia. And today, with gratitude, I can share these memories with my children and with you. When I was a child, the sounds of lions and birds would awaken us as a reminder of the emperor's grandeur. Every morning, the roars echoed from the palace to my home, filling the air with their beauty. It was so impressive that all the animals fell silent. The birds and monkeys would freeze in response to the power of their sound. During those years, my father worked in the municipality, and as one of his responsibilities, he would ensure that the lions were fed before heading to his office. Waking up to the lions was an experience that connected our daily lives with the greatness of the country. Today, I invite you on a journey to discover how those times of palaces, kings, and lions have transformed into something new and astonishing.
As we have witnessed in recent videos, towards the end of the 19th century, Emperor Menelik II established the capital of his empire in Addis Ababa, a choice backed by the counsel and deep affection of his wife, Empress Taitu. The strategic location, rich in resources, and with an ideal climate, made it a wise choice. The first symbol of the city's foundation was the construction of the Imperial Palace, a building intended to encapsulate the grandeur, elegance, and vision of a modern Ethiopia. A palace spanning 40 hectares at the tip of a mountain, commanding a view of the entire city. A structure that has witnessed Ethiopia's glory thrive. It endured its years of hardship during the Italian invasion. It experienced a rebirth with Haile Selassie. It suffered tragedies caused by false sons who stained it with blood during the revolution. And it has been a witness to a rebirth that has demanded much effort and sacrifice up to the present day. But what has become of this mythical palace? Join us until the end, as today we will take you to explore Unity Park. In the year 2018, shortly after the current Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed Ali, assumed office, despite certain halls dating back to the period of Haile Selassie and subsequent governments being used as the headquarters of the federal government, the palace was in a state of decay and neglect. However, in 2019, as part of a new development plan and economic reforms, and in alignment with a modernizing vision for the country, the Ethiopian government made the decision to transform the grounds of Menelik Palace into a park that would reflect the nation's grandeur and, at the same time, symbolize the unity among the diverse regions and over 80 cultures coexisting in Ethiopia. Today, this palace has evolved into a multidimensional space. It is not only a museum but also a zoo, an aquarium, a park, a convention center, and much more. It is a place of profound richness and significance, worthy of exploration to delve into the history of the oldest nation in humanity. Through its transformation, the Menelik Palace has become a shining beacon that guides visitors through the passages of Ethiopian history and visions of the future, bridging heritage and modernity into an experience that transcends time. The construction of the buildings in the Emperor Menelik Palace complex began in the early 1890s. Within this ensemble, an octagonal two-story building known as the Egg House stands out. Here, we find the chambers and reception hall of Emperor Menelik II, the quarters of Empress Taitu, the prince's bedrooms, and a small banquet hall, all interconnected by corridors. The Egg House, named due to the shape of its roof, served as a space for prayer, observation, and the office of Emperor Menelik. Furthermore, the country's first telephones were installed in two small cabinets along the corridor leading to the emperor's chamber. In this marvelous place, It has served as the main seat of government for over 7 Ethiopian leaders, from its founder, Emperor Menelik II, to the current Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed Ali. Great passages of history have unfolded within its corridors, some filled with glory, elegance, and honor, while others are tragic and somber. Undoubtedly, like any historical site in the world, it stands as a symbol of the country's ceaseless evolution. Some of the most glorious events took place, for instance, in its banquet hall and throne room, where dignitaries of great stature have been received, and historic moments have been shaped within those walls. This banquet hall was constructed during the reign of Emperor Menelik. When the hall was built, the emperor used to host daily banquets. Later, these lavish dinners were reserved for religious and coronation ceremonies due to the increased number of attendees. Throughout the years, this banquet hall has hosted many historic events. For instance, in 1963, Emperor Haile Selassie hosted a state dinner for the founding fathers of the Organization of African Unity. The Menelik Palace, apart from being his official residence, also housed a collection of live lions within its grounds. These lions were seen as a symbol of the emperor's authority and his connection to the grandeur of the Ethiopian Empire. The presence of lions at the palace not only reflected Emperor Menelik's admiration for these majestic animals, but also carried symbolic connotations in terms of power and status. This tradition would persist until the final days of Emperor Haile Selassie. Another wonder you will find in the park is its botanical garden. The indigenous botanical garden offers a brief glimpse into local housing construction techniques and numerous native plants. Here, you will encounter plants used for medicinal and aesthetic purposes, as well as plants employed in the production of spices, foods, and beverages. Some of these plants also find use in woodworking. Visitors also gain insight into the way of life, unique architecture, and overall landscape of Ethiopia's rural areas. Another attraction in this part of the park is houses built in the shape of 2 camels and a turtle. In addition to these houses, there are large pieces of handmade modern art, sculpted from trees that have grown and aged over the years here at the palace. What sets the indigenous garden apart from other attractions is that every aspect is crafted by hand, and no machinery was used in this part of the park. Artisans from various parts of the country have contributed to the creation of the indigenous garden. In its gardens, you can relive ancient feline traditions with the zoo, starting with its lions section. The Black-maned Lion Zoo is one of the 2 zoos in Unity Park and features the endemic black-maned lion. This lion is primarily found in the Bale Mountains National Park. The park's zoo houses 37 mammals and various birds, making it the first of its kind in our country. This zoo has 9 exhibits: meerkat, aquarium, peacocks, cheetahs, white lions, wild dogs, gelada baboons, aviary, and safari. As the crown jewel, you'll find Ethiopia's aquarium, where you can observe precious species from the Red Sea. Ethiopia's first aquarium is located within the Unity Park Zoo and showcases over 13 species of aquatic animals in 3 different exhibits. Another attraction in Unity Zoo is the aviary, a beautiful legacy also from Emperor Haile Selassie, which boasts an impressive variety of different bird species, both large and small. The safari exhibit houses 9 types of animals, including giraffes, zebras, kudus, wildebeests, and white rhinos. The 2 zoos in the park, the Black-maned Lion Zoo and Unity Zoo, were constructed with consideration for the natural habitats of the animals. Within the park, you'll have access to a restaurant, bathrooms, rest areas, and all the amenities that your entire family might need, from the youngest to the oldest. Today, with Ethiopia's new vision of modernization, The Menelik Palace stands as a symbol of fresh hope not only for Ethiopia but for all of Africa. It has transformed into a park of unity, a place where all the country's cultures, ecosystems, and historical stages converge. While exploring Unity Park, you will immerse yourself in the very footsteps once taken by the leaders who shaped Ethiopia's destiny. From the palace of Emperor Menelik II, where the echoes of crucial decisions resounded, to the gardens that hold the whispers of historical moments that unfolded here. When you walk through Unity Park, you're not only exploring a place, but also connecting with the very essence of Ethiopia. The modern history of this resilient country comes alive before your eyes, inviting you to be a part of its ongoing rebirth. Come to Unity Park and witness how history and the future converge in a place brimming with life and meaning. It's more than a destination, it's an opportunity to embrace the magic of Ethiopia and be a part of its ever-evolving story. Don't miss the chance to be a part of this unforgettable experience. Come and discover the magic of Unity Park in Addis Ababa. We await you with open arms. For more information and reservations, visit the park's website. Don't forget to follow us on our social media channels. It's an honor for us to share our culture with you.